The Electric State isn't really like anything else I've ever read or watched. It follows this girl Michelle and this yellow robot named Skip through this tarnished dystopian tech-gravist version of 1997. It doesn't spend a ton of time with intros, heck it doesn't spend much time with the actual story of the book at all. Michelle receives a pretty fair amount of character backstory, but there is no true action, no development, and no change. That's because there shouldn't be. The world of the Electric State is slow and moody. What battles that were fought and what hope there once was has long since passed, and now all that is left is the rubble of a 7-year war and the rest of humanity rotting in its wake. The book drifts through incredible scenes and piles of debris expertly drawn by the author. Reading The Electric State, I really felt like a small kid again, flipping through the pages of my favorite picture book. Instead of crayons or dragons though, I was fascinated by the wreckage of a gigantic military airship, or all the branding slapped on every surface or robot's face that wasn't covered. This branding is a big part of this book. Seeing giant robots as cartoon characters, once glistening but now broken and silent, has this odd feel of nostalgia that I can't quite put down. It's creepy, but in a weirdly cool way. It feels like you're being told everything is fine by the smiling face, but clearly it isn't. Robots aren't actually covered much in the Electric State, and just by reading the book, I would barely know that they were on the other side of this war, but they are covered a ton in the movie. Now, I don't know what you think of this concept I've been explaining, but I think you would agree with me that the movie recreation of it was a really bad job. It didn't honestly have a chance in the first place. A world without hope, a world where every human is hopelessly attached to an addictive virtual reality system, a world where there is no real possibility of redemption doesn't make good Hollywood. To have a story, you need a story to tell. Personally, I think this film could have had a chance if it was set during or before the war, but of course they didn't make that choice. Instead, we have this watered down version, where humans use the neurocasters but not to the same extent, where the robots lost, but for some reason instead of all being destroyed, were locked in a giant enclosed area in the desert, where the sun is shining rather than regularly being covered by clouds and mist. The lighting is extremely important for the vibe, and so is the overall sentiment of the main characters. A comic relief duo works for this version of the Electric State, but it really wouldn't for the book. I think a 5-hour-long YouTube series would have worked a lot better for what the book is really meant to be, but it's not what we got. Oh well, not too much to be done about it. I really like the book. It does something in a way that not a lot of media does, and focuses on world building rather than individual story, which I also think should be done a lot more often. The most important part of the Electric State is its withered nostalgic vibe, and the movie completely botches that part, making it feel like a fever dream using a somewhat similar narrative. Although not feeling justified paying $40 for something you could get through in a few hours makes sense. Anyways, that's all from me. I plan on making long forms that are more upbeat like my shorts. Comment what I should cover next.